Homeless and sleeping in the car. Me and my 5 children. Homeless and sleeping in the car. Me and my 5. Hi, everybody. I want to just answer a few questions. A lot of people have been saying it's a fake account. I haven't replied back. Well, I haven't replied back because
Wow. Yeah, this is hard to watch, man. That first video was day one of homeless and sleeping in a car. And she mentioned that she has 5 children. And now, as you can see, this is day 25.
it's a fake account. I haven't replied back. Well, I haven't replied back because I chose to get my children a hotel room other than paying my phone bill. So I was able to finally get my phone bill paid. And so now I'm back posting. Then another thing I wanted to address, I do have 2 jobs and I did end up in this situation still. Um, Unfortunately, I do not qualify for any state benefits. Yeah, so that's it. We are still homeless, and my Cash App has been posted. Hi, everybody.
Oh, the Cash App's been posted. Yeah, that looked bad. But at the same time, somebody left a comment that I can agree with. The comment was from Grace. She said, I'm so jaded. These situations come across my feed every few minutes, and I don't know what is true anymore. And that's true. Listen, I'll never forget the fact it's movie magic, right? It's movie magic. You before we had all this technology where we can dang near do anything with a computer and make Superman fight whoever he fights, you know, and make it all cinematic. People used to do things behind the curtain to where it just had the effect. So I understand that it's nothing for you to just go in your front yard in your car and tell your kids to lay down and put some covers down, and then you say I'm in my car with my kids, and then that will instantly equate to money. Maybe this is really true for her though. Maybe this is really the case. I don't know. But here's what I do know. You got 5 kids. What in your right mind possessed you to have 5 kids? That's what I want to know. Why do you have 5 kids? When you had 5 kids, when you started this process, did you ever have tens of thousands in the bank at least? Why do people be broke with zero money living paycheck to paycheck? Really be struggling robbing Peter to pay Paul by themselves. And then all of a sudden they think it makes sense to have a bunch of kids. A bunch of kids. This stuff doesn't just happen overnight. You felt the impact of one, you felt the impact of two, you felt the impact of three, 4, 5. These things don't see when we're looking at the situation and we're evaluating it and we're feeling sympathy, really for the kids, it's easy to just focus on this present moment. But no, this was a buildup. This was a process. It had to be a process. See, as a dude, I can go and I can go and have 1,000 kids in a short duration of time. As a woman, for you to have 5 kids, that's going to be stretched out over a course of years. So you feel the impact as well as you get some time to be able to mature, reflect, and ultimately learn from your mistakes. And then you continue to have more. I don't understand that. I'll never understand that. And I don't understand why we don't address that. And we don't inquire at the very least about that. But we just overlook it and we just start doing whatever we need for people's needs. And then meanwhile, we still haven't addressed the problem And then they end up with number 6, number 7. And now the problem just exacerbates to such an extent to where there's no reasonable person can look at the situation and say she's going to be able to solve this by herself. And that's where we end up. And then it's permanent. And then we have to basically take care of people, and people will become dependent on other things permanently. So we got to start addressing that, in my opinion. Y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And it's literally just a click. So if you're here anyway, you might as well click that like button. And also, if you can hype the video as well.
My ex just left me, then I went homeless, and of course I just got fired from Starbucks, which was the only job that I had as a homeless person. But to be honest with you, I cheated on my ex, and I chose to go homeless and live in a car that I purchased with the money that was supposed to go to the apartment that my ex got evicted from. And because my name wasn't even on the lease of the apartment, and my ex told the leasing office that I was living there and paying the rent, I was gonna have to leave the apartment whether the rent got paid or not, because I was classified as an unauthorized occupant. So I basically chose to go homeless with a car rather than go homeless without a car. As far as getting fired from Starbucks, that's a whole nother story that I'll have to make another video for, but I'll give you a gist now. Long story short, I was great at my job and I love the work that I did. But when you don't suck up to insecure managers who take their job way too seriously and wear their emotions on their sleeve, they'll make up stories about you using their knowledge of every policy in the book to get you written up and eventually get you fired. And to be even more honest, technically I'm not even fired yet. My ex just left me, then I went homeless, and of course I...
What's up with this dude, man? What is up with this dude? This dude is crazy. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Good luck, man. Good luck.
Yesterday I got fired. This is the only job that I had as a homeless person living in their car. They knew this too and they still fired me. And they made me work an entire 8-hour shift that started at 4 a.m.
Hold on. Is this the same guy? Is this the same guy? Let me see. It is the same guy. Huh. Well, let's see what happened on this day. Let me see.
Living in their car. They knew this too and they still fired me. And they made me work an entire 8-hour shift that started at 4 a.m. and only after they told me that they were gonna fire me. But it's okay though. I live right across the street from a Wendy's, a Dairy Queen, and there's literally a hiring sign at the Planet Fitness that I sleep in. So like, we're chilling over here. The reason I'm making this video right now though is because yesterday was the first day I haven't posted a video in like 36 days since I started my social media page. After that 4 a.m. shift yesterday, I came back to my car, responded to a couple of messages and comments, and I was just so fucking tired. Like I literally went to bed at like 6 o'clock and I woke up like about an hour ago at like 7:30, 7:40, something like that. So yeah.
Brother, it doesn't have to be this hard. It doesn't have to be this hard. You don't got no kids. Sir, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? Seems like you're wasting your life. I went to his profile. This dude records his days every day of being homeless, living in his car. And right now, to this day, he's all the way up to day 56. Man, people just wasting time. It ain't a lot of time to waste moving forward. You on day 56, you gonna waste a whole year and have no progress, just hopping from dead end job to dead end job, huh? Staying in your car. Let me see. He's got something that says day 16 of fixing my life. So he has a little series fixing my life. I want to see what are you doing to fix your life? What are you actually doing? Let me see.
It's only day 16, and now I'm starting to believe that I've been a misogynist all this time. I got home from work yesterday, and I started talking to my one friend, and she's a girl. At first, we're talking about how our day went, but then eventually we start talking about our past relationships and stuff like that. Nice. And then this girl goes and asks me, what makes a girl unattractive to me? And legit, my first response is probably her body. I couldn't talk about one's personality, how they treat other people, how they think about life. I literally just said their body. And that's not even the worst thing that I said. At this point, we're pretty comfortable in our conversations with each other. So I'm telling her about my past experiences, how I look at women on a daily basis, and some of this stuff like I wouldn't even say on camera right now. But I had the nerve to even bring up my ex. And my friend was like, not only did you hurt her because she broke up with me, but then you have the nerve to body shame her. What I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of things that I'm becoming self-aware of.
It's an epidemic of unserious men out here, especially in the US. And it's really starting to become pitiful at this point. And it really reflects in your life and in your outcomes. You don't take life serious. I mean, you just going through life just it's like you playing. Just playing all the time, 24/7. And then you wonder why you look up and everything's passing you by and you're living in your car with your afro and your bonnet, having these dumb trivial conversations that aren't going to do anything for your life. Dude, you need to get serious. You need to get focused. You need to get focused. What are you doing? What's your purpose? What are you trying to accomplish out here? What impact are you trying to drive? You're just going to keep. It seems like also he's very much lust focused, which that's to be expected. But at the same time, man, when you're going at life and you're ambitious and you're trying to slay dragons, shoot, at least have a reason. Shoot, when you're an ambitious man, yeah, you might, that's just going to up your testosterone, to your libido, all that. But you don't even have no reason to be like all that lustful like that. I mean, aside from just being young, because it don't seem like you really doing nothing. You just laying around like a chick with your bonnet on in your car, always looking in the mirror at your body with no shirt on. Dude, get some business about yourself. Shave your hair, put a shirt on, stop wearing bonnets, and get serious. Please tell me this ain't the same dude. Okay, this it's not the same dude. It's not the same dude. I'm thinking it's the same dude for it. I'm like, man, I had enough of him. Let me give you guys a quick little outline of what we're looking at here because it may not be obviously apparent. So, this says, I'm homeless and this is what I do for work. I work at a warehouse overnight shift. So, this is another person who's homeless, another gentleman. I respect that. I'm going to be honest, for a guy, being homeless could actually be a timing thing. And it really isn't as bad as you would think. For a homeless, childless guy. Now, honestly, even if you have kids, I mean, let's be real, most guys don't have their kids 24/7 anyway. But being homeless as a guy can actually be a great strategy. And here's what I mean. It'll incentivize you to just be at work most of the time anyway. So now, by you being homeless, I might as well get 3 jobs. And then at the same time, I don't have a rent to have to pay for. And all I got to do is just you're going to work yourself so tired that by the time you're done with everything, it don't matter where you sleep. You just need to sleep and then you get right back on it and you saving money and you don't have a rent payment. And so it can actually be a great strategic thing. And that's why I said timing. Here's where timing comes into play. If you decide I'm about to go, I'm about to grind for the next year or 2 or 3, and I'm just going to get after it. I'm just going to work as much as possible. Maybe that timing can align with when you might be homeless or whatever. And then so you can actually turn something a negative into a positive. I actually had a friend who did that, and he was driving trucks, and he was always in some other state. Man, he just decided, because he was an owner operator. He just decided, man, F it. I'm just going to drive these trucks, man. I'm going to let my place go. I'm barely even here half the time. He let it go and he just ran it up for a few years, just having his truck. And I'm not going to lie, he had, he always still had a place to go, right? He probably had a chicken or probably about 2 or 3 chicks in every state that he typically goes to. So he always had a place to go. He was comfortable. But for him, it made sense. He's like, I actually don't even need my crib. So again, for these guys who are out here grinding, getting to it, it could actually be a good thing. But if you're like other dude and he just wants to talk to girls on the phone all the time about nothing, then what are you doing with your life, man? His description says, I'm homeless and I live and work in my car. This dude looks real present. Don't he just look real present? He's in the moment. That's what happens with a lot of homeless people. You'll see some homeless people, they'll look at you like you're the slave. You still in the matrix. They be present. They be in tune with nature. They could put their finger out just like that. They could put their finger out just like that. A little bird will just land right on their finger. You kiss it. Mwah, send it back off on its way. They be real in tune. And it probably is something to that, honestly. A lot of us, we never really get a chance to slow down and really actually assess and reflect a lot of times. It's just go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Next thing you know, you look up one day and your life has gone by. That's happened to me a few times where I look up, I'm like, dang, man, I was not paying attention. I was just focused. Which can life is going to have trade-offs and pros, or excuse me, trade-offs and concessions. Pros and cons. There's going to be pros and cons to everything. So, if you're grinding, 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 usually in order to stay moving at that speed, at that rate, and to not get weighed down, you just got to stay locked in. But then on the other hand, when you got people who are present, they're more in tune. They can more so ingratiate themselves in the present moment and actually enjoy more of life, the simplicity of life. But they may not be really getting ahead. So I think it's funny. A lot of people who are just moving fast and coming at life, I think in their mind, at the end of the tunnel, they'll get to a point to where, okay, finally, now I can chill. Now I can be present. Now I can be spiritual, blah, 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 blah. But then it never comes because you get to that next place, you get to the end of the tunnel, and then what you find is there's an entrance to another tunnel. And then you go through there, and then it's like you move the goalpost. Okay, now when I finally get here, then I'll finally be able to calm down. So it's a tough balance you have to achieve. And it also comes down to social constructs as well, just the way things are in the US.
I was homeless for 2 months. 2 months. It's very
Here in America, you can literally work a full-time job and then some and still be
Her caption says you can work full time and still be homeless in America.
full-time job and then some and still be homeless. These jobs, the wages that these jobs offer don't pay enough to afford rent. You're lucky if you can even afford to rent from somebody anymore. It's like if you want to have a car to drive to and from work, you also got to think about like the gas prices going up. In a lot of areas here in America, gas has reached over $4 a gallon. And then you got to think about like food expenses, toiletry expenses, and then the money to, afford rent. Or say you rent a room from somebody. Even that's not really even cheap anymore. But just go get a better job, they say. Budget your money better, they say. Just pull yourself up by the bootstraps, they say. You cannot work your way out of corporate greed. You can't budget your way out of corporate greed. There's literally individuals out here making the most money that they've ever made in their life, and they're still struggling like hell to make ends meet. And I'm sick and tired of this stigma that people who don't want to participate in capitalism anymore just have a victim mentality, one that's necessarily not true. We're sick and tired of these low wages and the ungodly high cost of living. And honestly, it feels like it's the sanest response to quit participating in something that no longer serves you. Here in America, you can literally
I guess glass half full type of commentary.
So let me tell y'all the story of when I was homeless and used to sleep on the beach. So when I was 18, I moved to Miami with an ex.
Basically, this is a story time. Like she said, she was homeless. And it says she only worked overnight shifts so that she could sleep on the beach during the day. Interesting.
So let me tell y'all the story of when I was homeless and used to sleep on the beach. So when I was 18, I moved to Miami with an ex. The ex-mom put me out literally within 3 months of me moving to Florida. So imagine you just moved to a brand new state, you thinking you good, and then they put you out. Y'all, this is why it's important to get a little bit of background knowledge on who you dating, because come to find out, my ex and her mom did not have a great relationship. And when I got there, her mom was mad as hell. It's like she was bugging us and on our ass.
My ex and her mom. Interesting.
About getting a job. As soon as I got a job, she's like, oh, they giving out jobs. But I had just started my job at the Guitar Hotel in Florida, the hotel casino. It wasn't a Guitar back then. It was just a regular hotel, the Hard Rock. So I just started my job as a host at one of the restaurants there. And what I did was I used to work overnight so that during the day I could sleep on the beach. During the day they not gonna bother you, but at night they'll be like, no sleeping, you can't stay here, you gotta leave.
Interesting.
So what I did was I made sure I worked overnight. So I used to work from 11 at night to 8 in the morning. Then I go to the gym, shower, and go to the beach. Lay out on the beach the whole day. Literally, nobody knew. And then I know some people was talking about, what about my circadian rhythm? Ain't nobody thinking, when you going through shit, when you're homeless, when you're trying to survive, you're not thinking about all this other shit that you would normally think about if you wasn't. But yeah, that's how I got through my day to day. And I think I was doing that for about...
How long? I'm curious.
I'd say a month and a half. Yeah, I did it for about...
That ain't that bad. That's, at that point, that's just an experience. Because I was trying to think logistically. And I'm like, yeah, that could actually work. I don't know for how long. That's why I was curious to see how long she was able to pull it off. She said a month and a half. Because think about it. You work your shift at night. And then you just go to the beach, you chilling. You really get some good sleep. She probably got the best sleep ever. You talking about hearing the waves, hearing nature, hearing the birds. She was probably out there knocked out. Then she just get up, get the dust out her eyes, take her a little saltwater bath, and go get her something to eat on a pier or whatever. chill. She could just chill for the day. And keep in mind, she don't got no bills. So she could really eat good. I mean, she could eat good. She could do whatever she want. That could work for a while. That could actually be a very cool experience, in my opinion. I think we pretty much get the gist of it, though. We can move on to another clip.
This is why you don't assume that all homeless people don't have jobs. So there's a guy right there
She said, I was homeless with 4 kids and 2 full-time jobs.
and a guy right there, and he's screaming at him, "Get a fucking job, bum." And the guy's like, "I have a fucking job, you fucking piece of shit. I just don't have housing. I can't afford housing, but I have a job. I work every single day." So that just goes to show you, you can't assume that all homeless people are jobless, because they are not. 40 to 60% of all homeless people have jobs. The reason that they're homeless is, number one, the documents. They've lost their documents in the move, or getting kicked out, or getting a divorce, and they put it in storage, and storage was too expensive, so they had to let it go. The second reason is because the United States of America, even last year, you cannot afford even a 1-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment with the money that you're making right now, because these apartments are asking for astronomical amount of income proof, like 3 times the amount. If you're just a single man, like that man looks like to be, okay? Maybe he has family, I don't know. What the fuck do you need 3 bedrooms for? You just need 1 little unit. What can he possibly do in there? That was such a piece of shit thing to do. I just want to go yell at them, but I don't feel like fighting this morning.
Well, here's the thing. It could be a lot more reasons why people could be homeless. I think one of the most common ones is probably going to be something in regards to your reputation. And by your reputation, I mean, this could be your credit report. This could be your eviction history. I think that would be the most common. There's tons of people who actually make 3 times the rent, make good money, but they've got certain things on their reputation that they decided they was going to F around and try it. And then they effed around and they found out. Here's the thing. Again, it's kind of like what I said about the homeless thing. I mean, if you're going to be homeless, and like she said, this dude is childless, single man, work as much as you possibly can. If you're going to be out there begging for money anyway, you might as well just be working. Get you 3 jobs. It's just that simple. Do whatever you got to do to make the best use of your time. It's really just that simple. Y'all, we'll leave it there for today, though. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels. So that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice, if you want to hype, to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And then also, if you want to become a member of the channel as well, the join button's on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with is you will get badges next to your comments, where it shows people that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you will get early access to content and also exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, join button's on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.